you get off the plane in America, and we frequently say, you know, you literally like get off the plane and just, even if you're in an airport and somehow there's this perception, some of it is real, you're just instantly in cleaner air.
Visually, we make the comparison before gathering the air sampling and afterwards. So it's more simple to let people see what's entering your lungs.
Chinese want to live healthy lives too. And I think the government is committed to dealing with this. It's just very hard to do it at the same time you're trying to keep the economy booming.
The argument begins from last year when Beijing suffered a really heavy haze days. People are becoming to have a doubt on the official data, and then many media are beginning to make many reports. Then the public become aware what is PM 2.5, because PM 2.5 is very scientific wording.
我觉得影响最直接的，就是像歌手，还有像主持人，还有像一些配音的演员，对他们来说，这个完全靠嗓子吃饭的这些人是伤害极大。是我呼吸的那个样本是吗？能看到吗？这是没有使用过的，这是我第一天呼吸过的铝膜，这是第二天。我觉得我猜测啊，可能会发一点黄。但我没想到它已经发黑了。
If you compare the public in Beijing and Shanghai and some of these eastern cities, you have citizens there who really demand this kind of information. You know, you really saw this in October of 2011. Citizens were taking to the internet and demanding this PM 2.5 information.
I have friends who live in Hutong in the center of the city who during the winter heat their homes with those same coal briquettes. To this day, the coal from their neighborhood blows in with the wind. So on the windowsill every day, just at the crack where the window meets the sill, is a stripe of gray dust.
I remember in New York City, we had a furnace in our basement. Growing up, there was a tremendous amount of grit in the city, and the air was quite dirty sometimes. And so you'd wake up in the morning, and there'd be just a film of dirty particulate matter, most of it having come from coal that was in the air. And I mean, what's interesting to me is, of course, in London and New York and other cities, we've cleaned this up. It's a rare day in New York now where there's really bad smog because the coal is gone.
I was there during the Olympics, and in that period, the city had shut down all of the manufacturing around the city, so emissions from factories were closed. The enforcement of too many cars on the streets, you know, they barred a lot of the cars from the streets, produced a record 30 some odd days of beautiful clear blue skies, which was, you know, really the first time in my recollection in the 4 years I'd been there at that point that I remember a full solid month of blue skies. And it was an eye-opener for me, and I think for a lot of people who'd lived in Beijing and even, you know, natives of Beijing, to realize that this is the way the city could be. if only we did something about it.
And also, I must point out, because of the data limitation, we only calculate the acute death caused by PM2.5, not the chronic death. And also the diseases during heavy pollutants, we don't have any numbers. So the actually public health loss is even bigger than what we are estimated.
Officials I've spoken to in China, they all understand this problem. But officials respond to the most pressing problems first, logically.
Especially when the Beijing government said that we will have the better air quality until 2030, which means in the next 20 years, we are still breathing this bad air.
I can imagine when the citizens in Beijing know that it's going to take another 20 to 30 years by scientists' estimate to clean up the pollution, that's not good enough. You know, if you're 20 years old, it's going to be 40 or 50 till you finally get to breathe clean air. You know, that's not good enough.